Well, one fine spring day, the afternoon bus was just on the point of leaving the village and turning into the main highway when a small voice was heard shouting, "Stop the bus! Stop the bus!" Okay, so as usual, the bus was on the casual route that day, and the bus was leaving from the village. As the bus was leaving from the village, one the conductor heard a voice, "Stop the bus." And when he stopped the bus and he saw that a tiny hand was raised commandingly, the bus slowed down to a crawl, and the conductor, sticking his head out the door, said, "Hurry then, tell whoever it is to come quickly." So when the bus slowed down, okay, he came out from the bus and told that girl, "Whoever is going to board the bus, call them quickly." But Vali shouted that there's no one, it's she herself. Okay. By now, the bus had come to a stop, and the conductor said, "Oh, really? You don't say so?" And the conductor was not able to believe that this little girl is going to travel because she is too small to travel alone. "Yes, I simply have to go to the town," said Vali, still standing outside the bus, "and here's my money." Okay, so before boarding the bus, she handed over the bus fare. And what happened? "Okay, okay, but first you must get on the bus," said the conductor, and he stretched out a hand to help her. So, as the little girl Vali was about to board the bus, okay, so the conductor he hand over he just uh, raised his, he just put forward his hand to help her so that she can get into the bus. But the little girl, she replied that she don't need any help. Okay, the conductor was a jolly sort, fond of joking. "Oh, please don't be angry with me." So sarcastically, he said that not to get angry, he's just helping her. Okay, he said, "Here, have a seat right up there in front." So very respectfully, he addressed her madam and asked her to take a seat. And everybody in the bus, they started staring at her as it was a slack time. Okay, as it was a time where uh, a time when there's not much work, so the passengers were very less in the bus. So the other passengers in the bus, they started staring at her, looking at her. Vali was overcome with shyness. Avoiding everyone's eyes, she walked quickly to an empty seat and sat down. So, when she noticed that everyone is looking at her, she avoided them. She felt shy and she quickly took a seat. "May we start now, madam?" the conductor asked smilingly. So, again sarcastically, he addressed him, "Madam," and said that, "Can we start the journey now?" Then he blew his whistle twice and the bus moved forward with a roar. It was new bus. Its outside painted a gleaming white with some green stripes along the sides. So the bus was newly made, as the bus was shining. It was clean. Okay. Directly in front of the valley, above the windshield, there was a beautiful clock. The seat was soft and luxurious. So she noticed that in front of her, the clock was being placed, which was very beautiful. And even the seat which she got to sit was very soft and luxurious. It was comfortable. Vali devoured everything with her eyes, but when she started to look outside, she found her view cut off by the canvas blind that covered the lower part of her window. So she stood up on the seat and peered over the blind. So, as she is a tiny little girl, when she wants to look outside the window, she couldn't because her height was too short for that. Clear? So, what did she do is she stood up on the seat and she started looking outside. The bus was now going along the bank of a canal. The road was very narrow. On one side there was a canal, and beyond it palm tree, grassland, distant mountains, and the blue sky. Okay, so now the bus is going to get in the bank of the canal, so the road became narrow, and she can view palm tree, grasslands, and the distant mountain and the blue sky. On the other side was a deep ditch and then acres and acres of green land. Green, green, green as far as the eye could see. So she can view so many beautiful things, green lands, and so many mountains and palm trees, grasslands, and things. Oh, it was so wonderful, and she was very amazed looking those beautiful scenery. Suddenly, she was startled by a voice. Listen, child, said the voice. You shouldn't stand like that. Sit down. So, when she was just enjoying the view, she heard some voice. One person stood up and said that she shouldn't stand like that because she might fall down. Sitting down, she looked to see who had spoken it. Was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her, but she was annoyed by his attention. Okay, so she felt little bit annoyed. It was an elderly man who had honestly been concerned for her. So that one person he stood up and he told not to stand up out of concern, but she was annoyed little bit. There's nobody here whose child, she said hotly. I have paid my 30 paise like everyone else. Hotly it means proudly. Okay, so she was she was feeling very proud that she have paid 30 paise for traveling by this bus. The conductor chimed in. Oh, sir, but this is a very grown up madam. Do you think a mere girl could pay her own fare and travel to the city all alone? So the conductor, he sarcastically said to that sir that she is a grown up child, and being grown up, she can pay her own fare for traveling, and she can travel alone. Wali shot an angry glance at the conductor and said, I am not a madam. Please remember that, and you have not yet given my ticket. So she she was very angry. Wali, when she heard speaking in this way, she was angry, and she told the conductor that not to address her as a madam and to give her a ticket. I will remember, the conductor said, mimicking her tone, means copying her tone. Okay, everyone laughed, and gradually Wali too joined in the laughter. So as we know that conductor was very jolly, he was a very joking person, so he just copy he just spoke her in her tone, and he said that yes, he remembers that, and everybody started laughing, and she too joined them. The conductor punched her ticket and handed it to her. Just sit back and make yourself comfortable. Why should you stand when you have paid for a seat? Because I want to, she answered, standing up again. And conductor told her to be comfortable there and not to stand because she have paid a fare for it. But Vali, she replied to him that she, because she wanted to view the scenery, and that's what she is standing. But if you stand on the seat, you may fall and hurt yourself when the bus makes a sharp turn on it or hits a bump. That's why we want you to sit down, child. So the conductor, out of a concern, he told her that she might fall down, yes, when the bus makes a sharp turn suddenly or hits a bump. I am not a child, I tell you, she said irritably. I am 8 years old. And now she is telling, very angrily, she's stating that she is not a child, she is 8 years old now. Of course. How stupid of me. 8 years? My. So, see, now again the conductor is making fun of her, and he says that yes, of course, she is not a child. She is big enough now. The bus stopped, some new passengers got on, and the conductor got busy for a time. After afraid of losing her seat, Vali finally sat down. Okay, so a stoppage came and the new passengers got in, and Vali finally sat down, thinking that she will lose her seat. An elderly woman came and sat beside her. Are you all alone, dear? She asked Vali as the bus started again. So one of the ladies, she came and sat nearby Vali, and she asked her whether she is uh, traveling alone. Vali found the woman absolutely repulsive. Repulsive means causing strong dislike. She did not like that woman. Vali found the woman absolutely repulsive, such a big holes she had in her earlobes and such ugly earrings in them. And she could smell a betel nut and woman was chewing and see the betel juice that was threatening to spill over her lips. So she found that woman very repulsive, and that lady was having a big holes on in her ear, wearing a ugly earrings, and when she smiled, she can see the betel juice. She was feeling afraid that while speaking she could spill that betel juice over her lips. Who could be sociable with such a person? So she started thinking that why the other people in other passengers are so interested in her, why they are being so sociable. Then she replied that yes, she is traveling alone, and also she got her ticket. Yes, she is on her way to town, said the conductor with a 30 paise ticket. Oh, why don't you mind your own business, said Vali. But she laughed all the same, and the conductor laughed too. Okay, so as the conductor, he also said that yes, she is on her way and she also have paid her ticket. But Vali, she irritably replied that to mind his own business, and she started laughing. But the old woman went on with her drive. Is it proper for such a young person to travel alone? Do you know exactly where you are going in town? What's the street? What's the house number? So that lady was so, she was so concerned towards her, and she started, asking her that where she is traveling to, why she is alone, and so many things. You needn't bother about me. I can take care of myself, Vali said, turning her face towards the window and staring out. So it was a very irritating moment for her, so she did not bother. She said that not to bother about her, she can take care of herself, and she just turned towards her she turned her face towards the window and started staring out.